Hey, how's it going everybody? This is Vice back with another video on the channel. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to create an NX integrated workspace for your Angular, React, or any other library that you want to create. I'll be using official documentation to teach everything about NX. So to get started with NX, you don't have to read the whole documentation. I'll give you key points where you will need to learn more, and you will be up and running with NX in very short time. So first of all, here's a NX documentation website, nx.dev. It's basically a smart, fast, extensible build system, but also allows you to create monorepos. Monorepos allows you to create multiple application libraries into a single Git repository. Let's start by creating a new NX workspace, and the command is very simple: nx create NX workspace. I'll just copy that, and in my VS Code I'll just paste that command. Once you do that, it will basically install a package called create NX workspace, and it's going to ask you whether you allow it to create a new package, actually install. Let's press Y and enter, and it's going to install this package. Once the package is installed, it's going to ask you a couple of questions which we will answer. The first question is, would you like to create a workspace? And here you will type the name. I'll just say Monorepo test. Enter. Now it's asking you if you want to create a Monorepo workspace with some sort of a template, like the popular options are React, Angular, and Node. But in our case, we will just click on none. Now it's asking you whether you want to create a project-based, integrated, or standalone. I'll just explain that. So basically, let me just zoom out a bit on this. So there's three options: project-based monorepo, integrated, and standalone. Standalone and integrated and projects are totally different. So basically, standalone is like you create a single project in it, and that's what you get. But also, because NX has not just the monorepo features, if you create a standalone project, you will still get NX features that you can use. Integrated is a project, multiple projects that basically use a simple import statement to import from a different projects. Project-based monorepo, project-based is like you cannot import any package or JavaScript or any file from another library or application. Instead, you will just install them, like npm install, and install the other application. That's when you choose this option. So for our case, this video is about integrated monorepo, which is a little bit complex compared to project-based monorepo, because you have to know TypeScript aliases and how they work. I'll press enter on the integrated workspace, and I click on yes because I want the caching enabled for fast CI. So press enter. Now it's installing that package. Once this is ready, I will open this folder, and we will get started by using NX and create a couple of applications and libraries within the Angular within an NX workspace. The workspace has been created, so I'll just open that, which we will need to go outside, and I'll just go to tutorials folder, and here's a folder for our NX workspace. I'll open that. You have to trust the authors. Yes, trust the author. That's just an option that you get in VS Code. Now we get to see the package.json file, and you'll see here we got dev dependencies, and the important one is this NX workspace. And then you got NX.js, because you most likely be creating a JavaScript based libraries as well. But these are the default packages that NX workspace create command install for you. On the top here is your name of your workspace. Now the most important file here to learn about is this nx.json file. Here NX compiler or NX workspace tool read this file to find out all the projects and their configurations. We have a node modules folder and a VS Code settings that is generated by NX create command, and we got this edited config file, which basically allows you to configure the settings for your IDE. I use VS Code and JetBrains IDEs like WebStorm, and I switch between them, and edited config is a great way to actually restrict those configuration, like and the indent size or indent style, or trailing commas should be allowed, or single quotes should be allowed, or double quotes. So all that stuff can go in here. Well, that's just off topic. let's go to NX. Now in here, we first need to install an NX extension, which is basically going to help you quite a lot. So go to these extensions and you search for NX, and you'll see the first extension named NX Console. It's by the official NX team, and what we'll do is just install it. I've already installed it, and that's why I see this NX icon here. So once you click on that, you'll see you can generate, you can run, and you have other common commands like, you know, lace your projects or run many projects. We'll get to this, but this is a very good way to actually start working with NX, and you don't have to remember any commands. Now, first of all, let's create a new project, which would be Angular based project. Now, the way NX work is by plugin system. So if you go to the official documentation, and we will pretty much going into recipes. Within the recipes, you have this Angular, React, or Node. All the recipes are here. But what I want to talk about is plugin ecosystem. So NX has a plugin registry, which you can take a look at what technologies are available in NX. The first one in the list, we got this NX Angular. This plugin will allow us to create Angular application, Angular libraries, and basically it's a wrapper around the NG CLI, which is Angular CLI, and it gives you all the semantics commands as well. So if I click on that, you get to see some more information, how you're going to add it, but I'll show you the easy way to, you know, set up Angular in NX. So if you go and click on this add dev dependency, you will see here all the plugins available. So I'll select this NX/Angular plugin. Once you click on that, it will go and show you the versions. I will simply select the latest version. Now we're going to go back to package.json file, and once that version was selected, actually I missed it, so I'll just click again and install the latest version. You'll see the command npm install -d, which is like it's going to install it as a dev dependency. And if we go to NX documentation, here you see the same command if you use yarn or npm. Basically, you can follow this documentation if you really want to understand what's available here, but I've already read it and I'll make it easy for you to, you know, just the key points that will get you up and running. Now it is installing the Angular, but while it's installing, because I'll show you how to create some libraries for React as well. So if you click on this add dev dependency, you get to see NX/React, and here's the official plugin from NX. So I'll just click on that, and I will also install that as well. It's a 16.10.0, but actually you should be, you know, just waiting for one to complete, because it might just skip this task and then just go with the React one. So we'll just wait for this to finish. The installation process is complete. Now it's asking me to execute this NX init command. I just pressed enter, and now it is updating some of the files and creating some of the files for Angular project, because Angular configuration is defined by the NX Angular plugin, which basically updates a whole bunch of files, implement this jest or jest preset or jest config, and also it updates your git ignore file as well. Once that command is finished, you'll notice a lot of new packages are added to dev dependencies. Also some of the files that are updated and newly created files for Angular. Now, once we've installed the Angular plugin for NX, you can actually go to generate command, click on that in NX extension. You get to see all the options available for you now. Because you've installed Angular plugin from NX, you can see NX/Angular semantics as well. For example, if you want to create a new application, you pretty much click on this command, which will give you a UI for selecting some options for your project. For example, I'll just say Angular test. I can define the directory, I can generate the routing. So basically these are all the options that Angular CLI provides as well. If you click on show all options, you get to choose lots of different options, and I think it's very, very good, because we create Angular projects with CLI, and not many people actually know what to select or what options are available. This GUI enables you to know actually what's available to you. For example, if you want to specify what port this application will be served, by default it's always 4200, but I can do like 4400 in this case, and I can create a minimal project, ESLinter, inline templates. Yes, I would like inline template and inline styles for the project. In terms of test runner, I don't need anything, so I just select none. For the Webpack, we can use Webpack or ESBuild. Well, I'll go with Webpack. If you want to create a proxy backend project as well, you can actually set up the proxy here, which is like an advanced Angular topic, but let's not worry about that for now. One of the best option available is that add Tailwind CSS. Well, it will automatically configure the Tailwind for you, install Tailwind plugin, and you will be able to use the Tailwind very, very easily. Okay, so another thing, we can actually use this generate a standalone application, which is new to Angular, but for now let's just skip it. Click on generate command, and it's just going to start generating a whole bunch of files. So if you go to File Explorer now, you will see the Angular test has been created. Now the good thing, once the project is created, you can actually remove this project with all its configuration using NX extension, which is very, very easy. Because I think I made a mistake, I would like to create an Angular project in apps folder instead of just on the root folder. So we will basically create a folder, libs and apps. So I'll just go ahead and create apps folder, and then I will create another folder, libs, right? And I would like to move this project, but I want to show you how you can even remove this project. So if you right click, you will get to see remove NX project option because you've installed the NX extension in VS Code. For our case, I'll just keep the project and we'll just close this generate UI. Now I'm going to go and create a new NX project. So go to NX console, click on generate, click on application, and I'll just say Angular test 2. Angular test 2. Okay, and if you look at this, this allows you to see the dry run as well. So if I want to go to apps / and then here you'll see it is now generating the project within the apps folder, but you notice that it is actually generating just in the apps folder. So what I'll do is I'll just say Angular test 2 / and now you see the project is going to be generated within the apps folder by its name. Now I'll just make it standalone project, generate routing as well, and if I show all the options, I don't want to generate this E2E test runners. That's pretty much it, what I want for this project. I'll click on generate, and then you'll see we will have a new project generated, Angular test 2. So now the easiest way to run this project is by using the NX extension as well. So if you go to NX console, you'll see this options where you have run many affected, or you can say click on refresh workspace once you create the project. Now you will start seeing these two projects. Okay, you click on this arrow, and after the arrow you get to see all the options, like you can build this project for development or production, you can serve this for development. So if you click on this play button here, this one, it will basically serve this project. So let's try that out. Click on play. You see the command that it executes in the terminal, and our project will be running on, I think this port is going to be 4200 because we didn't specify the port while we were creating this project. Cool. So let's stop this, and the way you stop this is by just pressing Control C there. Now you get to see all the build and serve and running tests and lint. Everything is automatically set up for us, and we don't have to go and create the scripts in this package.json file. Now you can also have some more common commands like run many. If you have multiple projects, I can click on run many, click on serve, and I can just select the projects where I'll select this project, click OK, and then I'll just say execute NX project. This is going to run both projects within one terminal, which makes it super easy to run multiple projects at once. You don't have to, run multiple terminals and run those commands. So I'll just close it for now. Click on list. It will basically give you a list of plugins available, and then also the plugins that you have already installed. You can even migrate dependency. If you want to migrate from one project to another, you can do that as well. Next, what we want to do is basically generate a React project. So I'll just click on add dev dependency, and we will just search for React, and I'll just click on React, and then once done, it will ask for the version. I'll click on the latest version, which is 16. So while it's installing, we go to official documentation. Okay, so I've already talked about the plugin ecosystem. This is a registry where you can see if you want to create a project from a specific technology. For example, if I want to create a stencil project, if I search for stencil here, let's say stencil, you see that there is a plugin available for that. This plugin is actually a community plugin. It is not official by NX. If you look at some of the NX documentation, they'll talk about how you can, write a plugin for NX, which is, not for the junior or medium level developers, but if you really want to extend NX with your plugin, and maybe you have written a new framework or technology that you want to provide a support in NX, you can read this guide, Getting Started with Plugins. Click on Create Plugin, and you'll see how you can create a plugin for NX. I think it's a great way to, extend this technology with your own framework or whatever. Okay, so now we understand that NX has a community, supported plugins as well, which you can take a look at, on maybe search on Google or something. But the good thing is, if you find a plugin, you'll be able to create a project very, very easily. One of the plugins that I wanted to use was Ionic, and Ionic wasn't available by NX team, so I found that NX ext/Ionic React or Ionic React Angular is a plugin that is created by a community, which I can use to create a new Ionic project within NX Workspace, which was amazing. Now we've already created a project with Angular. Now let's click on generate. Now, because you've installed this React extension and also this React init command was executed, now you can see that we updated the NX JSON file, and a package.json file is updated as well. I like to open nx.json file to see what has changed. So here you will see we got a generator, and there are many generators. One of them is React. So basically, here's a configuration that plugin updated for React. Now let's click on generate, and then now instead of just using Angular, you get to see the React base commands as well. For example, if you want to create a React application, you can just click on create React application, and then here we'll just name our application. Let's say React test. Bundler would be Webpack, but I would say use with directory. We can just say React/React test, and you see the dry run for that. So it says generate does not support dry run. So not all the plugins basically support the dry run, which is fine. You can see that it's going to go into that React test directory. Click on show all options, and you get to see what you can do. So React uses function-based component now, but you can specify if you want to create a class-based components. I don't want to create any E2E test runners. If you want a global CSS, yes, you can select that. If you want to generate React project for JS instead of TypeScript, you can select this option. Now, I can't go for all the options, but the goal was to create integrated monorepo workspace using NX, and I've showed you how you can do that by using NX console extension. Also, we've been looking at what are the core concepts. Now, if I click on generate, you'll see it will generate a project. I'll go to Explorer, and we get to see the React folder, which will contain this. It's basically installing the Weed plugin. So while installing, we go to official documentation, and I want to talk about a couple of things. So if you go to official documentation, here are some of the concepts that they talk about: integrated versus project-based versus standalone. Instead of me explaining this, I'll just give you a quick summary. Project-based project is basically multiple projects that can only be accessed into other projects via package.json, which means you have to install a package from, let's say if I go to package.json file, let's go to package.json file. Now in this, if I want to use this Angular project within React, for example, here's a React application, React test, right? If I want to use this React test in one of the Angular project, which is this Angular test 2, what I would like to do is we need to basically say we need to install this as a dependency for that particular project. Like here, if you go Angular test 2, and then you will install that project by ... whatever the folder path is. Now this is a project-based monorepo. Okay, integrated repos are basically which you can use the type aliases. So if I show you this TS base file, here you can see path folder, a path key, and here you can specify, let's say, apps, and then you can specify environments, and then the folder path that you provide here, if you type this in any application, it will always go back to the folder that you specify. So you can use one package in another package by using this type aliases. That's the only difference in integrated monorepos from project-based. Standalone is very self-explanatory. Basically, it's a single application that you create in monorepo. Well, a lot of people might think, why would you want to create a single application within a monorepo build system? Well, because the NX is not just a monorepo, but it also provides lots of different features. One of them is the caching, which means your build will be super fast. For example, if I go to NX console and I would like to just do a build for Angular test 2 project, so I'll click on this play button for the build development, and the first time you'll see that this will take a couple of 30 seconds, while you see the project was built in 45.86 milliseconds. Now if I go ahead and click on this development play button again, you'll notice it'll be completed in 43 milliseconds. So actually 45.86 milliseconds. What actually NX does is basically looks at what has changed from the past build, and it will automatically compile that, and it has like a caching mechanism, which is really fast. So for the bigger projects, I will highly recommend to use NX caching, which will save a lot of time for you. Okay, so for this tutorial, I would say we have covered all the getting started guide, and that was the main goal for making this video, is like getting you up and running with NX workspaces as soon as possible. Hope you like this video. I'll be creating more videos in NX, which will cover a lot of advanced project, which because I'm actually working with this technology right now, so I'd like to share the knowledge. So stay tuned, and I'll speak to you guys in the next video. Cheers.